Ebusuya for ebe mo bi a kwa ba shonko so e dey aba POG Media dwumadi we so. Ebe show bi asese afa ye no aba dwumadi we so a obe like obe share no subscribe to the channel. Sani ebe ya political trending news be ko twi ko brema be an POG Media ani age penezi ya de bebre no. Ebusuya for ne ko political highway no na ensem bebre ni aso akoti ensem ni be ni se ya ye Dubik Mahama former ECG boss and as see no interrogation mo no be na no e kase containers no move through on containers no na or you sure say JR for no be and so accountability and so more accountant omo count ya de no ehun say ade na no ano no as see no onum say problem e be any ho and or you sure say procurement minister so where say ade no same fixed figure na no to or they for more than 3 to 4 evidence as see ano ni ho any as mo pa mo bia cho so mama no kwan ma na ko ebusuan for menje mo mbre mo so pi men say mo mbre so mesra mo so mba me akọ Nyakuti ayadi Dubik Mahama kai or the interrogation room one I say
take UK out of EU, US is not able to deal with them. I mean, they suffered about 24% and they are not happy at all.
Yeah.
They are preparing new tariffs for the US. Interesting times ahead.
But for now, Ghana, at least, we should hold mind and soul together, body and mind together. Anyway, thank you so much, Kofi. Well, meanwhile, the diplomat also revealed to Joy News what the future holds for U.S. foreign assistance to Ghana following a 90-day pause on U.S. aid. Now, President John Mahama directed Ghana's finance minister to explore policies to offset a potential revenue loss of $156 million. A significant portion, $70 million, was allocated to life-saving health programs, including the HIV Last Mile project. With the aid suspension nearing its deadline, Ambassador Palmer has assured that life-saving programs will be maintained despite a broader restructuring of U.S. foreign assistance.
We were dealt with almost immediately was a pause and review on foreign assistance of all types. We're almost to the end of that. That kind of 90 days would be April 20th, I think. But many of the programs have been reviewed and changed. Ghana actually has done better than many places. And I'm very pleased that the life-saving programs are all to be continued. So that new phase of partnership will maintain the all of the life-saving programs. So the infant and child mortality programs, maternal health programs, the malaria program continues, our HIV programs continue, the essential medicines and vaccines programs continue.
Now, away from the U.S., a former managing director of the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, Samuel Dubik Mahama, has dismissed reports that ECG containers at the port have gone missing. Speaking on the Super Morning Show, he clarified that the containers were never lost but may have been misplaced. He revealed that the Ghana Revenue Authority auctioned the containers during his tenure because ECG failed to clear them due to cash flow challenges.
So the last time the minister spoke, at the beginning of this whole container gate or container saga, he said the containers are in the port. The conversation would have been different if the containers had left the port and they were in the custody of what? ECG. And then the containers got lost from the yard of ECG. Not so. But in this regard, the containers are within the port of the Republic of Ghana and it's within the control of GPHA and Ghana Customs. My candid opinion is containers cannot get missing. They can be misplaced. If they get lost at sea, you are immediately informed. Since there is no record to the fact that containers got lost at sea, because of the international supply chain logistics, there's a platform. When you key in a container, the way bill, who was in control of the container, all of that is there. I just think, we should dial it down a notch. Let's all assist the minister, because we all need to get to the bottom of this, to get to the bottom of where each container sits. And I think it's just a matter of all of us, including ECG, including the two state agencies who are in control of the port, have a proper sit down, go through the paperwork, run it through the system, and definitely we'll come the right conclusions.
So are you saying the containers are there at the ports?
What I'm saying is the containers cannot get missing. At worst, they have been misplaced, or the only other option of a container leaving the port is through an auction. So there's also a database that will show which containers have been auctioned. So the whole conversation is ECG, yeah, it's okay, fine. In every home, there are issues. But the conversation now is this: let's situate it. The containers were in the port. To the best of my knowledge, at the time I was leaving, it was well within, the only people that would give me that full fact was the Director for Materials and Transport. And I believe strongly at that point, his main concern was that we were not having enough cash flow to take the containers out of the port.
Okay.
2, there was an investigation under the LNR project. So those bunch of containers, which was quite a number, were also stuck at the port because Yoko was investigating.
How many?
I can't say off the top of my head, but they're quite. Now, PDS also came in. At that point, at some point, we realized that some of the containers were being auctioned. So
auctioned by whom?
By the GRA, by the Customs Division.
While you were there, they started to auction some of these containers.
Yes, it came to my notice, and I responded. I think, I don't know, for some weird reason, some of those letters have found their way into the public domain. I wrote a few letters saying, hey, could you halt on the sale of these containers? Blah. I quite remember, I don't think I got any response on that.
President John Mahama is warning of possible severe flooding as he expresses concern over the Garrett project, which he says are all behind schedule, during a tour of major drainage systems and flood-prone areas with the anti-flood task force. He urged authorities to expedite all projects under Garrett to mitigate the impact of the rains. The Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Project was initiated under the administration of President Nana Addo Akuffo X. The project was approved in 2019 with funding from the World Bank, aiming to address flooding, improve drainage infrastructure in the Greater Accra region. Presidential Affairs correspondent Masola Gbagba has more in this report.
President John Mahama toured several flood-prone areas including Achimota, Malam Junction, Kaneshi First Light, and Addo Drain at Circle as part of efforts to tackle flooding in Accra. He was accompanied by members of the Anti-Flood Task Force chaired by Deputy Chief of Staff and Task Force Head Stan Dogbe. At Malam Junction, Stan Dogbe expressed concerns over a private business, Kitech Motors, illegally filling a Ramsar site and a water retention basin, warning that it could worsen flooding after heavy rains.
So you are selling the Ramsar site to a private company, and you are here to defend the fact that the company is filling the place up and causing problems. And you want us to continue listening, Mr. President. I think that the task force we've gone around the hydrology, we've gone around water resources, we've gone around. The challenge here is that the over 1 million that is being filled consistently by the company. 2 companies here, and then I think the VIP on the other side. They are the ones that are closest to the retention basin. So if you go to Blue Lagoon, which we have to drive to the other end, every house there, the water enters into the room. Don't do all the works that we are currently doing up there. If this siltation continues, and you can see that they are going.
In response, President Mahama ordered Kitech Motors to remove the silt and restore the area to prevent further environmental damage.
We'll take you to the Agric Ministry, where government launches the Operation Feed the Nation. We'll take you there now.
Daunting challenges that jeopardize food security, economic stability, and overall national progress. The country's heavy reliance on food imports, which totals over $2 billion per year, with poultry alone accounting for over $300 million, places Ghana at risk of external market fluctuations and currency instability. This dependency exacerbates food inflation, significantly affecting households and aggravating economic hardships for the most vulnerable populations. Although blessed with abundant agricultural resources, Ghana has struggled with food production inefficiencies, lack of infrastructure, limited access to essential inputs, and weak integration within the agricultural value chain. The smallholder farmers, who represent the backbone of the agricultural workforce, encounter formidable obstacles such as barriers to mechanization, difficulty in securing financing, and the absence of modern farming methods. These challenges hinder the ability to scale up operations and meet the increasing market demands. Additionally, substantial post-harvest losses persist due to insufficient storage and processing facilities, poor transportation networks, and inefficient market connections. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in response to these pressing issues, the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, has adopted the Agriculture for Economic Transformation.
Subscribe to the channel. No, share my own for no site. Me POG Media. So one of the biggest platform I wouldn't be apart from her. It will be now for them accounts.
Agenda, ITA. This initiative aims to drive the growth and modernization of the agricultural sector, with goals to bolster agribusiness development, secure food availability, mitigate food inflation, increase export revenues, and generate sustainable job opportunities for the youth of our country. To effectively realize this vision, MOFA is about to roll out the Feed Ghana program as its flagship program. This is a comprehensive program designed to implement all elements of the ITA. The Feed Ghana program is an integrated agricultural acceleration program to boost agricultural production, to feed Ghanaians, and provide raw materials for agro-industry and create jobs. These efforts are intended to ultimately ensure food security, alleviate inflationary pressures on food prices, increase export potential, and support sustained economic growth in the long term. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the primary goal of the Feed Ghana program is straightforward: to transform Ghana's agricultural sector, reduce our import dependency, and boost both domestic production and export. We aim to ensure food security and improve nutritional outcomes while creating sustainable employment and empowering our youth and women. Now, these are some of the key initiatives under the Feed Ghana program. 1, advancement of smart agriculture. Under this, we are going to launch the farmers' service centers across the country to deliver essential mechanization support services, including training, technical guidance, and market access. We also establish farm banks within agricultural zones to facilitate land access and irrigation services, primarily aimed at young entrepreneurs and farmers. Then we have the grains and legumes development initiatives. This is to promote vital grains and legumes such as maize, rice, sorghum, and soya bean for consumption, agro-industry, and export opportunities. This includes enhancing access to high-quality inputs like seeds, fertilizers, agrochemicals, as well as storage and processing infrastructure. Then we have number 3, vegetable development project, also called Yeldua. Under this, we intend to implement controlled environment farming through greenhouses to enhance the production of tomatoes, onions, pepper, and other vegetables. We are also going to create sustainable, ready-to-cultivate spaces equipped with irrigation systems for open field cultivation. Offer technical assistance to urban and peri-urban vegetable farmers to advance for home, school, and community gardening programs. And then we are also looking at poultry industry revitalization. Under this, we want to introduce a poultry farm-to-table project to increase poultry production in partnership with Poultry Farmers Association, incentivize household poultry production, domestic consumption, and interest through the Nkoko Nketenkete program. Then we are also looking at livestock development initiative, which aims to boost the production of meat and dairy, particularly from cattle, pigs, and small ruminants, to strengthen the national livestock sector. Then we are also looking at what we call the Feed the Industry program. Under this program, we want to increase production of local raw materials for animal feed manufacturing to guarantee a steady supply of agricultural products for industrial use. We are also looking at the oil palm industry development, formulate a national palm oil industry policy that offers incentives to palm oil production and value chain development to address the country's consumption deficit. Develop commercial palm plantations throughout the nation and promote outgrower schemes to position Ghana prominently in the global palm oil market. We are also looking at other industrial crop initiatives. Foster the cultivation and processing of additional industrial crops such as cashew, mango, coconut, shea, and rubber through agro-industrial zones. Investment in infrastructure and agro-production enclaves. We want to create agro-production enclaves equipped with essential infrastructure, including irrigation systems, access roads, and warehousing facilities to boost agricultural productivity and enhance market access. Innovative agricultural financing. We want to focus the Exim Bank to offer concessional financing for farmers and agricultural enterprises through cooperatives and community banks, particularly for export and value-added agricultural products, agricultural projects. Resource the Ghana Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing Agricultural Lending (GESL) scheme to reduce lending risks and provide insurance coverage. Distinguished members of the press, as we embark on this journey, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture will lead the implementation of the Feed Ghana program in collaboration with other ministries such as Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Finance, Local Government, Parliament, Local Government Service, other departments and agencies, farmer organizations and private enterprises. The ministry will establish a national oversight committee to provide strategic direction and a technical implementation committee to offer essential technical support. These bodies will work in tandem to ensure the smooth execution of the program. The ministry will engage in consultation with stakeholders, develop detailed program documentation, and launch the Feed Ghana program, establishing the necessary structures for effective implementation. Together, we will forge a new path for Ghana's agriculture, a path that enhances food security, revitalizes our economy, and empowers our farmers. It is time to turn our rich agricultural potential into a reality.
Welcome back to News Today, but that was the Agric Minister briefing us on how to improve the agric sector. We'll also bring you details of how that will pan out a bit later in our subsequent bulletins. But away from that, the fight against illegal mining cannot be won without a strong and decisive judiciary. Land and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Cǒnfěwa has called on the judiciary to play a critical role in tackling illegal mining, stressing the need for dedicated courts to expedite cases related to environmental destruction. According to him, swift and firm legal action is crucial to deterring offenders and reinforcing the government's commitment to eradicate the menace. He was addressing the press in Accra.
We have to win together, and this fight is not going to be easy. I just told you that we reclaimed the Offin Shelter Belt, and these bad guys, armed to their teeth, attempted to go and turn it into red again. And in the process, they injured a forestry officer with family who is fighting for his life at Akuffo Teaching Hospital. My friends, this is serious. And so you cannot, in these circumstances, I just told you what we've done with arrests, 76 arrests, where we've sent the government trying to prosecute people, and the judge says they should give the excavators, and thanks to the legal team and the support of the people of Ghana, a 24-hour reversal of decision has been made. This government, within this short period, is doing everything possible to make sure that the people of Ghana will join us, so we can expose those few bad people who are putting us in this risk. So, but we can't continue to talk as if all we have to do is just give up. We can't give up. The past weekend, they were in the Western North, working through, and I think even their work.
Nyankopon show bibia waje bredi ho dwumedie we medo bibia ase ha na dwumedie no aduma kwan se me famonsi ha POG Media so biggest platform YouTube. I show say obe like no subscribe to the channel so na political trending news bia no e be Japan say ya de bebremo medo bibia ase.